Hi there. Thanks for joining me today. Welcome to 30 minutes of my day. And you've probably been wondering, well, where on earth have you been, lady? And last week was just, I think it was a combination of, we had sweltering hot weather, sweltering humidity. Where I live, the summers can get extremely hot, and with the heat, it's not dry heat. It is, you step outside and the moisture in the air hits you like a wall. My poor husband is emptying, we have a dehumidifier going in the basement just constantly in weather like this, just to prevent mold. Not necessarily mold, but that moldy, well, I guess mold, that musty smell that basements can get. Boy, he does a good job. Every time I see him, he's carrying the bucket upstairs from the dehumidifier and pouring it down the sink. I mean, it's been raining so much, there's not even any point in saving the water to, use the water, environment and all that stuff. Trust me, it's like what's the word for a rainforest around here. Next comes the mushrooms growing up out of the lawn. Anyhow, but with that kind of weather just comes, for me, aches and pains in my joints, and it really limits how many hours a day I can work at my desk, because believe it or not, it's either too much standing or too much sitting, or even switching between the two. Still, by just after lunch, my ribs will be really, really, really sore, and my one doctor believes that that's because of my spine, because of the cervical dystonia. Anyhow, enough of the belly aching. That was my reasoning behind. I really did record, I think, 3 videos, and I belly ached through the whole thing. And 2 of them, I did a tour of how messy my room was. Did I clean it? Not until yesterday, but I have been working really hard cleaning this room, and I'm so happy now with it. It's a pleasure to work in now. But because of that, it made me think, what's my next job? And plus, I still have this left to deal with. And you might be thinking, what is this, Catherine? Well, this is a basket of papers that I had pulled with every intention of using in the last few junk journals that I have created. I always pull too many papers. I just do. And then I end up having to take some out and making sure I get a nice pinch and, moving them around, because the papers that go into my signatures are different weights. So some signatures can hold more papers than others in order to be the same finished thickness, to go into to create the text block, a nice balanced text block. So that left me with all of this that needs to get put away. But then I thought, but I really what do I want to do next? So then I got the bright idea and thought, I have a whole set of these encyclopedias. And if they look familiar to you, if that spine looks familiar to you, I think I made 3 or 4 books a couple of years ago with opera ladies and a beautiful big flower, and then a band of either music or writing or printing across it, under the inspiration of what I've learned from Kelly Bowler over at Book and Paper Arts. And I thought, oh, I'm going to make a few of those because I have the whole set of these. The woman who was getting rid of them gave it away for free. And I like them because they're just a nice set, a nice size for a journal. They're just a perfect size. And junk journals, encyclopedias, sets of encyclopedias, which were once so important. And many a home had an entire set of encyclopedias there for the family to use, as well as a dictionary. And they're obsolete now, because of computers and our telephones, which are basically computers. You can get more up-to-the-minute information on your computer than you can get from a set of encyclopedia. And I find that keep your eye out, and on places like Garage Sale or Facebook Marketplace, you can usually grab a whole set, often for free, if not for, you can go back and forth with these people. They just want rid of them and maybe want a little bit of money for them. But this woman, she just wanted rid of them, and I got the entire set for free. Well, I think I still got like 24 of these books. So I got a lot of these to make journals out of. And that's when I thought, I had so much fun making experiment number 1 and 2. And experiment number 3. Pardon me. And I thought, why don't I make experiment number 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8? And so then I got started on it, and it's all pulled apart, and I even got spines ready for a whole bunch of them, so that they're just ready to go. And even though now I look in here, and I'm not so sure it even needs, the spine even needs to be fortified, and got the text blocks out, and I wanted to be able to save the front pages as I do. And of course, in going through all these things, you're not going to believe what I found. Hold on, I'm going to go get it. So in going through, as I was cleaning off desktops, I'm really fortunate. I have 4 tables in my room, 4 big, I think 4 by 3, 4 by 2.5 tables in my room. And in going through them all to put together and gather up all these loose papers, at the bottom of one of the piles, I found this. Remember this? I hadn't. I couldn't believe it. So I have a book that I need to finish. So I thought, well, let's get back to get going on the Practical Bookkeeper. How could I forget about this beautiful book? It's so pretty, and I was really loving where it was going. And I guess I forgot about it because, if you recall, I had that period of about 6 weeks where I had like 3 different surgeries going on. No, 5. I had 4 surgeries on my eyes because I had the glaucoma fixed. So I had a surgery on the tops of right and left eye, and then had to go back again 2 weeks later and have the surgery done underneath on the lower right and the left eye. So that's 2 more surgeries. And then I had to have the biopsy of my liver. And then I had to have the, where they put that camera all down my throat and all the way through all my guts until it was up and inside my liver. And so that's 4, 6. Anyhow, let's suffice it to say I was busy. And blame it on the liver or the eyes. I completely forgot about this just magnificently beautiful book. And I even found Harry Rice. And his name was Harry. Sometimes Harrys are Henry. And sometimes Harrys are just Harry. So, and from what I found of Harry Rice, although he went to school, bookkeeping school in Toronto, he did live here in my town, which is outside of Toronto. He would have had to either live in Toronto while he went to school there, or take the train, or maybe stay there during the week and come home on weekends. Who knows? Like back in 1888, no, he would have had to move and live there while he was going to school. There's no way he could do it every single day in 1888. But I did find him, and he did live his life out here in my town, and ran a little store, which was why he needed to take bookkeeping. So that was very smart of him to do. So he has signed it 1888, but the book itself, it appears, we may as well go over it again because it's been a while. It appears to have been published in 1884. So, first of all, I want to find a page that looks like I wouldn't use it. It's got a lot of really interesting pages. Let's come down a bit. It's got a lot of interesting pages that have fun things on it. Let's just find one that I don't think I would use, and then we'll see if it's cracky or not. You know what I mean by cracky. By cracky. Did your grandparents used to say that? Mine did. I remember my granddad saying that. By cracky, that's a good roast or something like that. By cracky? Anyhow, we're going to see if this is cracky or not, or bendy. Because bendy, we like. Cracky, we don't like. And this is bendy, so that's wonderful. Very good news. So, we will be able to make use of this book. It's got lots of blank pages. Oh, look, there's some of Harry Rice's mathematics that he was working on. I think maybe we'll save that one and use it just as it is, because that blank paper will make a good journaling paper. And then this one, is it glued in or is it sewn in? Nope. Okay. There's 2. Oh, that's just magnificent. I wonder if we should leave that. Is that 2 papers or 1? That's already glued together, and I think I shall leave it as is. And I guess I had better figure out how many signatures I'm going to put in it. And you know what? I should check my book, because I may already have done this. And I'm also going to bring my camera back up. Okay, so I haven't got it in here. So the Practical Bookkeeper. We can at least get a bit started on it. I've got a busy week coming up, so I can't promise how many times I'll be able to visit on YouTube. But hopefully I will remember. I keep forgetting about Instagram. I enjoy it. I go on it. I love all your pictures. If you notice, I click on the heart. But then I forget to take pictures of my own things that I'm working on. So this is 1884. All right. Okay, so it is 6.5 by 10. Wow. By, this is where we'll figure out, by 1 inch. So I'm thinking maybe 5 signatures. I'm thinking for the bookkeeper, I'm going to use books. First of all, a lot of ledger paper. Ledger paper is fantastic for writer's journals because the lines go both ways. So if you're like me and you open up a book, you don't mind writing this way if the lines are going this way. It's really just as easy. It's as easy to write that way and read later on. But if you want to, with ledger paper, you have the option of, there's lines going both ways. So I'm figuring I'm going to use ledger paper. So before I put away that basket of papers, I'll pull out some of the ledger paper and some Pitman shorthand paper. I've got some Ready Reckoner. I have a few Ready Reckoners, so I'll put some of that in it. I have a couple of business manuals, and I have some vintage typing manuals. I think those would all be fun kinds of pages to put into this book, and then maybe some fun older things from out of a Boys and Girls annual from 1888, because that's around the same era, just to break up the mathematical monotony. Because although it's a bookkeeper's book, it doesn't mean it has to be a bookkeeper's journal. But we could still sort of honor the original spirit of the book by using papers and pages. Oh, I have a book. I have a vintage, I think it's in the 1940s, tax law book. That might be fun too. Yeah, so those will be how many we will do, and so we may as well figure out. I want to be able to put this back in and this back in. Oh, and I love where you can see Harry's mathematics there, so I think I might like to put that one back in. So that's going to need the the fold reinforced. I'm also going to need a template, so we may as well get that one done. And I think this one will do just as well as any because it's already almost falling apart. I wonder if that would fall apart on me. Maybe I should choose a different one that's not falling apart. Where's the threads? This one's so old, and I love this sort of thing about an old book, is there's dirt and dust in the cracks of the signatures. I just love that. Or I love when you find a mashed up bug. That's character too. And of course, you know I love antique lunch stains. So let's see. It's one of those days where we need the air conditioning going because of the humidity, but on the other hand, boy, it's such a funny thing to be aging because we don't need the air conditioning going as full power as we used to. I find that the two of us walk around the house going, okay, we've either got to turn down the air or I've got to put a sweater on. Because I'm getting cold. There we go. Okay, we'll use this one as our template. So I have to write all over it on both pages or else I'll never find it on my desk. Template. And then I need to trim this. I'm not going to check it until I trim that. Template. Oh, I'm going to get ink on that. This is one of those pens where it needs a few more seconds to for the ink to dry. Now I usually take off about 1/8 of an inch when I'm putting pages back into pages from the original template back into a book, because I never get it in as tight as the original bookmaker did. So I take some of the edge off, and then the OCD person in me, too many times I've wondered, did I trim this? Did I not? I can't tell. And then I have to start measuring it with other ones. So now I do this so that I know, okay, yes, I trimmed that edge. You know what? I have to do these little things or my brain will explode. It's just like when I have to use my my little Post-it notes for the tops of my signatures. So I'll use at least one page, or pardon me, one folio per signature. And well, this won't be any good, but it'll be good for inking on, so I'll save this for using to put underneath and ink. And when I'm finished over on my bookshelf, I will do a tour of it. I've been working really hard to pare down on the things that, again, I've been looking at my things saying, have I used this in 2 or 3 years? And if I haven't, it's getting redonated. I'm also, because my style of book that I enjoy working in has definitely changed over the years. I've definitely found a few books that need to be redonated, and I'm fine with redonating. I don't mind holding on to it for a little while and then changing my mind and redonating. So I've been doing that as I resort my shelves, but I'll explain that further when I do a whole video just on explaining what I've done to my shelves and why, and they're already looking so much nicer. It helps me mentally as far as wanting to come in and work, because it's just so much more pleasant, first of all, to look at, and second of all, to to find my things when I'm looking for them. And I guess that's the most important thing. Anyhow, I'm looking at the time here, and I think I'm going to let you go now, because I'm just simply going to go through and find 4 more folios to become the sort of anchor page, or at least go inside, and then I'll be getting out some plain tea paper and then lots of ledger paper. You'll see. Next time we get together, I will have the signatures already folded and put together. So thanks for joining me again. There's my explanation why I was missing in action all week. And this week, again, I can't make any promises. I have a busy appointment week this week, and actually 2 of the appointments are for Kirby, because she has her physical on one day, and then she has her grooming appointment on another day, and that shouldn't take long, you'd think. But the groomer that we like, she's wonderful with Kirby. She used to be a breeder of poodles, and she would breed them and show them and train them. So she's really excellent with Kirby. She understands her temperament. I mean, Kirby is 3/4 poodle, and so much she seems to be, that 75% of her that's poodle has got a really strong influence over the 25% that is Shih Tzu. And she understands also the quirkiness of poodles, and I just find that she's so helpful to me when I'm having a personality conflict with this dog of mine. And I'll say to her, all right, what do you suggest? She's, we're still 2.5 years and we're still getting to know each other, I feel like. Anyhow, Michelle is worth the drive to where I have to take her. And so it practically, I find when I'm planning things like that, it splits up my day and I just get little things done here and there and not enough time to do a video. So thank you for your patience. Plus it is summer, and sometimes if it's a nice day, I just want to sit in the backyard and let her run around, and I want to put up my feet. And I hope you can do the same thing too, wherever you may be, that you can take some time, and if you're having nice weather, that you can sit back and enjoy it. And if you've got little ones and they're home from school, hopefully you're having a wonderful time together. Take care, and we'll talk soon. Bye.